combat drones winning a real war. Images from Armenia that have stunned the world. With both China and Pakistan enlisting armed drones. Where does India stand on droning up for war? The big spotlight story on Battle Cry.
You are watching India Today.
If you thought drone warfare between two countries was something that could possibly happen sometime in the future, well, there's just been a conflict in the world that's proven all of us wrong. The war between Azerbaijan and Armenia and the use of drone warfare to devastating effect has proven that drone warfare isn't in the future, it's now. I want to start off Battle Cry this week with some big developments from the Indian drone scenario. After many years trying to acquire Predator-style drones from the United States, very quietly this month, a pair, just two Sea Guardian drones, a derivative of the Predator, actually arrived in India. And what if I told you that for the last few weeks, they've been operating from a naval base in Tamil Nadu? That's right, India's tryst with American drones has officially begun.
This is the Sea Guardian, a US-built advanced surveillance drone. Built for long-endurance reconnaissance, the Sea Guardian is a derivative of the legendary Predator drone. And like the Predator, the Sea Guardian can fire weapons if required. The Indian Armed Forces have been looking to acquire drones like these for years. And this month, with typical silence and stealth, they've actually arrived. That's right, since mid-November, two Sea Guardian drones have been operating from this Indian Navy air station in Tamil Nadu, the same base that hosts the Indian Navy's P-8I submarine hunter jets. From this base near the coast, the two Sea Guardians have been flying surveillance missions out over the Bay of Bengal and larger Indian Ocean. Acquired on lease for a year, first let's tell you how these drones actually work. Each system comprises the drone aircraft itself and a crucial ground control system. Crews in the ground control station handle all aspects of the drone, controlling it via a satellite link. Capable of flying thousands of kilometers away from the ground control, the drone relays real-time images and targeting information. While the Sea Guardian drones in India are unarmed for now, the drone can be weaponized and can be commanded to engage targets and fire at them. flying at a maximum altitude of 40,000 feet and capable of pre-programmed autonomous flight of nearly 2 days, the Sea Guardian can deploy Hellfire and Pave-Way precision strike weapons, which function alongside advanced sensors to pick out and zero in on targets. While modern variants of the legendary Predator surveillance drone have been available to India for some years now, the India-China conflict in Ladakh has added urgency. The two drones have arrived under emergency procurement rules. What's clear is that India doesn't just want surveillance drones anymore, but combat drones capable of hunting and destroying targets from the air if necessary. Often just called the Predator in reference to the baseline model, the Sea Guardian is a modern version of the Reaper, famous for raining hell on terror targets in Syria, Iraq, and especially in the tribal areas of Pakistan. Later acquisitions of similar drones, like the similar Sky Guardian being looked at by India, will likely come with Hellfire precision-guided munitions, weapons that are already operational on the Indian Air Force's Apache helicopters. Acquiring combat-proven US drones would also make up for an imbalance caused by China's own deployment of the Wingloong 2 combat drones at airfields in Tibet, and plans to supply those drones to Pakistan and other countries. If the Ladakh standoff has been a wake-up call, and if India has reacted by actioning a flurry of combat purchases, pushing through the long-pending Sky Guardian deal would easily be the biggest in terms of value and also the most operationally significant. With Sandeep Unithan in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
And joining me now are two defense journalists from the India Today group who are more plugged into what's happening in the world of drone warfare than anyone I know, Sandeep Unithan and Gaurav Sawant. Welcome to the both of you. Sandeep, the Sea Guardian drones operating now from the Arakonam Naval Air Station in Tamil Nadu. The number is only 2, but these are extremely advanced machines, and we hear they're already flying. Tell us a little bit about them. These particular ones don't carry weapons, even though they can be weaponized, and in fact, India has been looking for weaponized varieties of this, Sandeep.
Well, Shiv, it's an extremely significant development, and we've been covering this over the last couple of weeks. The acquisition of the Sea Guardian drones, the lease of the 2 drones, the high altitude, long endurance drones as they're being called, a complete game changer for the Indian Navy, simply because they allow the Navy to use their high value platforms like the P8Is in other operational roles. The drones do a majority of the surveillance tasks. So the obvious advantage of this is that you can focus your P8Is, you can focus your helicopters onto other critical missions, whereas the drones do the heavy lifting of reconnaissance, which they have the capability to fly about 60,000 feet above a certain area, and they can stay in that target area for as long as an entire day. So it's literally, you have very important areas for the Indian Navy, like the Malacca Straits or the Gulf of Aden, under constant surveillance. And that is the word that we've been told. Constant surveillance is what these drones bring to the table, and very, very significant acquisition for the Indian Navy. And this is going to be a step up for the larger purchase of the Sky Guardian drones from the United States. There's a deal for as many as 30 of these Guardian drones from the United States, some of which are going to be weaponized. But this is to give the Indian Navy a sample. It prepares the crews, it trains them for the big purchase that's down the line in a couple of months from now, we hear. So it's a huge, significant move for the Indian Navy ship.
While many countries have armed drones already, and remember the Sea Guardians that the Indian Navy has taken on lease are not armed, but they could be possibly armed in the future. But Azerbaijan and Armenia have proven to a stunned world that drone warfare is very much deployable right now, and it could actually change the outcome of a conflict. Take a look at how drones have been used in 2020's biggest military face-off.
The future is here. The world has been getting a live glimpse of how battles once only imagined are already being fought. The 44-day war between Azerbaijan and Armenia will go down in the annals of military history as the first conflict in which drones decided the victor. Killer drone strikes hitting Armenian soldiers and annihilating tanks, destroying artillery and rendering air defense system futile. In this new age of warfare, humans are no match for these remotely operated intelligent machines which can track them from the skies and rain death. Armenia suffered massive military setbacks at the hand of Azerbaijani forces in the war over Nagorno-Karabakh. Armenian media blamed the obsolete military infrastructure for the humiliating loss in the face of the overwhelming usage of drone warfare. Armed with Israeli and Turkish drones, the Azerbaijani army decimated the entire frontline military arsenal of Armenia. They literally didn't see what hit them. Turkish Bayraktar TB2, a long-endurance, medium-altitude unmanned combat aerial vehicle with its precision-guided bombs, decimated many targets. While Israeli Harop anti-radiation drones flew stealthily over enemy radars and crashed into them kamikaze style with pinpoint accuracy. India too has these loitering drones which can hit multiple targets. The spectacular and crushing defeat of Armenia holds a crucial message for all military planners that it's high time that their tactical and strategic assets need to be rearranged. Drones need to be incorporated not just in the defense matrix but also as a lethal strike option to incapacitate the adversary. Make no mistake, countries around the world, including India, have been watching the Armenia-Azerbaijan war closely. And combat drones are no longer a wish list item, but possibly an unignorable asset. Bureau Report, India Today.
And Gaurav, while we're talking about drone warfare, the live example of what we've seen in Armenia versus Azerbaijan, has only amplified the imperative, the necessity to employ drone warfare. India is some way along that path, but what happened between these two countries has only probably accelerated, our plans towards acquiring this capability.
Shiv, armed drones, unmanned combat aerial vehicles, as the Armenia-Azerbaijan conflict at Nagorno-Karabakh showed, is an absolute game changer. It's the one difference between victory and defeat. Armenia may have had its air defense systems, its artillery, its armor, but Azerbaijan's unmanned combat aerial vehicles, they completely destroyed everything. Destroyed the S-300s that Armenia may have had, destroyed the air defense system, destroyed their armor, destroyed their artillery, destroyed both their advance and their defense. There is no defense against an unmanned combat aerial vehicle. The manner in which it can deploy in enemy territory and take out enemy's targets. This is something which is extremely important for India, given our adversaries both at the line of actual control and at the line of control. Absolute game changers. Of course, India moved in the direction of acquiring unmanned combat aerial vehicles for quite some time, but now the Armenia-Azerbaijan conflict only brings about the necessity of speeding up those acquisitions, because the moment you acquire them, the enemy also thinks 10 times before either advancing in your area or even leaving his air defense assets in the open on either side. So two live borders, UCAVs, absolute game changers, Shiv.
Well, Gaurav and Sandeep, thank you so much for joining us. This is a very exciting space to cover rapid developments, a live demonstration of the capability of these machines. We'll be keeping very close track. Thank you to the both of you for joining us. Now, what if I told you that some of the drones you actually saw being used in the Armenia versus Azerbaijan war are already in operation with the Indian military? That's right. But there is a larger plan to operate armed drones in this country. And we've put it down for you. And the answer to the question, is India in on armed drone warfare? This report answers that question.
With drone warfare proving its lethality and effects in a real conflict this year, you're probably wondering where India's armed drones are and whether there's a plan to deploy them in conflict theaters. Let's answer that question step by step. First up, the Israeli drones you see diving to attack Armenian assets in the 44-day war are called Harop. A loitering suicide drone that is also in service with the Indian Air Force. In fact, the Ladakh standoff has compelled India to place orders for more of this type of weapon. Second, the Indian Air Force is looking to weaponize its unarmed Israeli Heron surveillance drones. The Indian Armed Forces operate nearly 100 Herons, including in Ladakh amidst border tensions, as revealed by a recent satellite picture. Designated Project Cheetah and said to be worth over 3,000 crore, the Heron arming project will look to give the surveillance drone the ability to carry and fire spice-guided bombs similar to the kind used in the Balakot strikes and Spike anti-armor missiles. A modified version of an Indian air-to-ground strike weapon is also part of the plan. An interesting new Israeli weapon system that could be ordered soon is the Israeli Firefly loitering munition. A helicopter-style mini drone packing a sensor and warhead. Basically, used by infantry teams to hunt down, pinpoint, and attack, kamikaze style. These devastating drones have recently been ordered by the Israeli Defense Forces as well, and could find place as a tactical killer drone system for the Indian infantry. Apart from the foreign drones, India is also developing and testing its own Predator-style drone called Rustam 2. This long-endurance surveillance drone took to the air for the first time in 2016 and has since conducted a series of test flights, proving out its flying qualities and ability to follow commands from the ground at great distance. At some point in the future, the Rustam 2 will be weaponized, as confirmed by this official slide from the program team from a decade ago, depicting the Rustam 2 firing a laser-guided weapon. But the actual act of weaponization can only take place once the drone itself is proven beyond all doubt. And way into the future is the Ghatak, a concept stealth unmanned combat air vehicle. In effect, a remote-controlled stealth bomber that can be programmed to fly into hostile airspace, pick up targets and destroy them. Still in preliminary design and development, the Ghatak is designed to be invisible enough to radar and sensors, to penetrate hostile airspace and strike targets. What we are trying to tell you is the Indian Armed Forces are fully in the picture on the effects of the drone warfare. And even if there have been delays and missteps along the way, armed drones will be deployed by India soon. Bureau Report, India Today.
That's it on Battle Cry for this week. Thank you so much for watching. And as we always say here on the show, India's true strength will only be realized when no human needs to be sent into battle and no weapon fired. Thanks for watching.